I'll bet a lot of you do your shopping now online. They call that interactive commerce, where you buy what you buy on a screen. Well, Barry Diller, once a big wheel in Hollywood, was one of the first businessmen to figure out that this would be a wave of the future. And he started a company now called Interactive Core, or IAC. Though you may not recognize the name, Fortune magazine recently named IAC America's most admired company in internet services, ahead of eBay, Amazon, Yahoo, even Google. And you've certainly heard of some of the company's brands, like Ticketmaster, or the dating service Match.com. IAC is an internet giant that Diller sewed together piece by piece. Diller has for years had a reputation as a business visionary from his success in Paramount Pictures, and then created the Fox television network. He's now in his third act as his own boss. This time, the vision was that a TV screen could do a lot more than entertain us. It all started 15 years ago when he looked into the future. It was 1992, and Barry Diller, who had turned 50, was wandering around the country in search of a new idea. He had just done the unheard of, leaving one of the top jobs in Hollywood running the Fox studios.
And I thought, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Dumb or scary?
Oh, totally scared. It was like, what the hell am I going to do? Because I didn't have an idea in my head.
His companion on the journey was his best friend and now wife, Diane von Furstenberg, the fashion designer. They were two vagabond millionaires.
We didn't know what we were going to do. And then one day I went to visit QVC.
She was going to the home shopping cable channel in suburban Pennsylvania to sell her designs.
Now, I'm very famous for the wrap dress.
Obviously.
But what people don't know is the wrap dress started really from a wrap top.
Did it? I didn't.
Diller happened to tag along to the studio that day.
And I was struck. I'd never seen a television set used that way. All I'd known from television screens is telling stories.
Thanks for calling QVC. It's available in red.
How much credit card will you be using today?
I saw this interactivity, this primitive interactivity, and this mix of computers and televisions and phones, and I thought, I don't know, this seized my curiosity.
What grabbed him, what he saw, and this was well before people started going online, was a future where most shopping would be done by interacting with a screen. On the way home, they couldn't stop talking about it.
We drove and we got lost because we were like so excited talking about this entire new world that we had just experienced. It was incredible.
This is the first interactive thing that he saw.
Yes.
And
Barry can see something way before you can see anything.
So you buy QVC.
Yeah.
And people were surprised.
Yes, I'll say. They said I'd lost my mind.
Because you had traded this glamour life in Hollywood
for Westchester, Pennsylvania.
And
in the winter, no, by the way, in the winter, I'd never been any place in the winter except to ski.
And I told him he had been right that interactive commerce would catch on. So he turned around and bought QVC's competitor, Home Shopping Network.
You get the gloves, you get the sponges,
Then
you get
the internet came along. And deal by deal, he assembled an interactive retail empire, IAC, buying Ticketmaster, CitySearch, Evite, Match.com, LendingTree, over 60 sites and growing. A lot of people from the outside.
Figuring it out, I know this now. I know now that, in fact, many of our businesses relate to each other.
Everything he bought was interactive. But beyond that, he made it up as he went along and is only now trying to create a sense of oneness by linking his brands together through his search engine, Ask.com. Here you can check local listings from CitySearch.
Okay, so we'll do Boston Symphony Hall.
Get tickets, because of Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Find a date, and buy a pair of shoes.
We're tying location to event, to ticketing, to reviews, to all of these different things.
He's also uniting his brands under one roof in new headquarters designed by world-famous architect Frank Gehry, not only changing Manhattan's skyline, but trying to give IAC the same kind of cachet that other big internet companies dropped out of UCLA. Family connections got him a job at the William Morris Talent Agency, in the mailroom. It turned out to be just the education he was looking for.
I literally read the file room from, A
You knew
to
everybody's
Z.
secret.
I read the entire history of the entertainment business.
Was that legal to do?
What do you mean legal?
I
It was
don't
a
know.
file room, and I was, it's not like I, sold it to the Inquirer.
The mailroom kid proved to be an innovator with great instincts about popular taste. He became a Hollywood player, churning out hits when he ran Paramount, like Saturday Night Fever, Urban Cowboy, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Beverly Hills Cop. Then he did it again when he created Fox TV, the fourth network. He says none of this came easy.
Every single thing that I did, first, I had to figure it out, which meant, I mucked around and I made lots of mistakes. And then I would figure it out. Not that fast, by the way.
That goes for his personal life, too. It was back in those Hollywood heydays that he first met Dion.
I was 28 and he was 33. We were both kind of famous. He was a tycoon and I was a little tycooness, and we were young, and none of...
After 6 years, they broke up, but later became best friends, and he became close to her children. Then, on his 59th birthday,
I said, if you want, I'll marry for your birthday. I'll be your gift.
when the New York Times announced your marriage, they called it a merger. And they said that the relationship was, quote, assumed to be platonic.
We married because it is the culmination of a long relationship. And we have a family together, and it just felt right.
You are best friends.
Yes.
But you're also said to be each other's closest business advisors.
We are everything for each other.
What do you think drives him?
What drives him is the vision. It's definitely not the money. He has a vision, and he's not quite sure what it is, you know, and then he kind of fakes it until...
Since we sat with him, Diller's announced he's launching a new financial site for young investors, a news and entertainment site for black web users, and a virtual reality site for teens.